Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds,
Rob Van Dam. Bam. Dude, back here doing push-ups, listening, getting ready to do my pose. And then I hear, "You feel me? I hope you feel."
That's the cue.
Okay, get ready.
Oh, bad business, Bobby.
Do
Enjoy. Happy Monday, everybody. We're live Monday night. It's one of a kind with RVD. That's Rob Van Dam right there, guys.
Yes, sir. Rob Van Dam.
Yes.
That
We're
even
happy to
sounds
be
like my current voice to me. You can
That,
tell
that didn't sound like your current voice?
It did. Like, you could tell it was fresh. If I hear videos that are like 15, 20 years older, you know, or if you go back 30 years, Scotty Riggs, my voice hasn't changed yet, but when it does, you know.
You're going to fear me.
Yeah. This one was right around 2026, 50-some-year-old RVD, I could tell. That was fresh shit, yo.
You can tell. It was funny. I was clipping up something for you for like a little video thing that I was doing. And like it was you in like 2000, I think. No, 98. I think it was like WrestlePalooza 98 or something like that. And it's so neat to see you like how you look then and how you look.
When you and I come out through those curtains, I that was half me and half Francine. Curtains.
Curtains.
If you people don't quit chatting, you fans know what I'm talking about.
Dude, I loved Francine back in the day. She was great. It was great. Shout out to some folks here joining us live. Maddie Marijuana.
Who we got? Maddie Marijuana.
Maddie. We got Jem the Dawn. We got Triple E. We got Frankie Chorizo. Always ask the good questions. Old Fat Guy. We got Old Fat Guy BMX in the house. What's up, y'all?
Right.
Eric Von Erich, the forgotten Von Erich brother.
Welcome, Eric.
Welcome.
Fat Guy.
Welcome, American Fat Guy. You're Nasty Goon. Ooh, that sounds good too. He's in the house too. He one-handed push-ups. Do you do one-handed push-ups? Do you do one-handed push-ups, Rob?
It's been years since I know.
Yeah.
I mean, could I if I was challenged? I don't know. Probably. Maybe my left wrist might not allow me to do that because it's a source of a lot of pain and fucks with my bench and stuff. So I don't know though, but yeah, it's been years since I even tried. So don't know. I was joking, by the way. I wasn't warming up. You guys know because I didn't look pumped. I mean, when I'm pumped, you guys know.
He's lying, guys. I saw him. I saw him on the camera. He was doing it back there.
Speaking of pumped, something that we let slide by when we were talking to Brian Cage, you know, he was saying he takes 200 or he says 300 grams of protein, and you said, how many do I take? And I said, it's the same thing, you know, and I said between 250 and 3, sometimes a little more, whatever. But the factor that I should have added to that is that's any kind of protein, you know, protein powder. I drink, sometimes I drink 3 protein shakes a day to get that. And Brian said he does 1 a day, and he says he only counts animal protein. Did you catch that?
I think I remember him saying something like
that.
that.
We let it slide right by. I would have liked to have asked him more about that. I looked that up, and apparently animal protein does affect muscle protein synthesis a little different. And so when you're at that level, maybe that's something that you know that you take into consideration when you're in the bodybuilding scene. You know, maybe you just got to tear into. Actually, the first time I heard anything like that was years ago. I feel like I might have said something about that on here, but Sabu told me one time that it was Chris Benoit telling him that he would get put on more muscle eating because he would drink protein shakes, I think, like all day at this point in Japan, and Chris was saying, you know, next time, you know, when you want to take a protein shake, instead just eat like a chicken sandwich. And he said, you know, that he said our bodies are made to digest actual food and that protein. The powder shit, you know, it's not, or it just goes through your body. And that was his explanation. And Sabu mentioned he was trying it for a while, trying to eat a lot more. Don't remember the results, but that's one of those things that always sticks out in my mind, you know. So
I believe that, though. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, you know, we eat animals, and that you're getting your protein right from that, and instead of like some sort of powder that, you know, could have been manufactured or processed through it, it makes a lot more sense that that gets you better results.
Although everything, you know, everybody gets different results from everything, so you always got to consider that. I did see on Instagram this huge dude, this black guy that was just, you know, like a massive muscle, and he was saying same thing. He said 300. He said, I eat 300 grams of protein a day. To get that, I got to eat a lot of protein shakes, you know. And so I was like, well, that's kind of the opposite. That's interesting to know that there's a spectrum, you know, like a range of different acceptable methods.
We were talking, and I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but we were talking about like your like ideal weight size when you wrestled and stuff like that, and how you kind of stayed within a 5-pound range almost. Was there a time too where like you could feel yourself like bulking up a little bit more, and you're like, I gotta tone it back just a little bit, just because you could feel it maybe affecting you in the ring a little bit more?
No, I always liked it when I always liked it when the scale would say I'd put on, you know, I get on, I'm used to seeing 235. If I see 242, I'm like, oh, okay, good. You know, like it makes me feel a little more full, and I feel a little more comfortable with that. There was like 2 times in WWE that my weight got up, and I was lifting. This is when I was lifting really heavy. You know, 2001, 2002, 2003. I was putting the weights up and still lifting super heavy, and it was Brooklyn Brawler one time that was in conversation, and we were talking, and it was crazy. Like Booker was lighter than me, but he looked twice as big when we were tagging back in the day. Yeah.
So you were heavier than him?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So we were talking about that exact thing, you know, and when Brooklyn Brawler was there for some reason, it was something like, you know, Book is like, you know, I don't know what he was at the time, you know, maybe like 230. And I was like, you know, I'm like, I'm actually like 240. And Brooklyn Brawler was like, you are not 240, bro. You're every bit at 250. I said, no, I'm serious. Like, I weigh like 244. Like I weigh, no, you don't. And he goes, we're arguing. He goes, step on a scale. He goes, you're every bit at 250, dude. Look at those fucking legs. You're huge, brother. And I stepped on a scale and it said 252, and I'd never seen that before in my life. And I was like, whoa, I'm big. Yeah, that's happened a couple times, but that's, you know, to go from there down to like 230, or recently I was even a little below the next 5. Well, maybe like a year ago, like, you know, 228ish or whatever. But man, that's a pretty wide range. But that's like over time. It's a wide range. I don't feel like a different person or anything, but just, you know, yeah, like sometimes a little under my norm and sometimes a little over my norm.
I know. I think it was Dolph Ziggler once said, like, too, he was talking about like how he kind of realized what his weight would be, what he was capable of doing, where it was like he didn't want to bulk up too much because he knew he wasn't going to be able to do what he would still be able to do in the ring. And I thought that was kind of interesting. So I wondered if you ran into any of that kind of issue sometimes. Right.
Yeah. No, I never. I mean, sure, if I was 270, I don't think I'd be able to fly as much. But I never felt that perspective, though.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. You got along with Brooklyn Brawler pretty good?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
he was a good guy, and he's someone I'm happy to when I see him at conventions and stuff. You know, he's always just been like a really good guy, full of positive energy, and I had a lot of fun with him.
That's great. Yeah, because I hear stuff just from being a fan, like, oh, he was a stooge or whatever like that. But I always liked him. Like, I always thought it was great, you know?
Yeah. I asked him about all the rumors and stuff, and accused him of everything when I first met him, kind of in a joking way, but more like just making fun of the issue. And and it wasn't something that he had never heard before, but it was also something that didn't terribly offend him, and he was just through doing that and stuff, I think we got closer. And then, once I really got to know him better, he was just always like, he would just say, hey, me and my wife are, we still pray for your wife every single day. I'm like, dude, stop that. He's still talking about my evil ex. Like he said that, like, it's probably been, seems like about 4 or 5 years since I've seen him, but he was still saying that then. I'm like, dude,
Wow.
stop praying for the bitch.
You're good.
she's fine, like I said something horrible for the religion person doesn't want to hear at first, something like, are you praying that she burns in hell or something like that? And he's, oh, don't say that, I think I crossed the line there, it's like, oh, that's cool. No. All right, but whatever, how about pray for my present life?
Yeah, how about that?
I'm done with that shit.
That.
I always got along with him and Bruno too, downtown Bruno. Those two guys are a couple. They're two peas in a pod. Like, they're always together.
Are they? See, I never knew that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. But they were like besties, and they would run errands together, and always seemed to come in a pair. And then now I have to step aside because I just opened up something in my brain, because I just got back from Pittsburgh this morning, actually, like at 1 this morning. But I know I feel like I'm all over this place, but this ties in because Kennywood, you're familiar with that big amusement park in Pittsburgh, and I was just telling someone this yesterday. I used to go there every summer, and there was a ride. It's like a haunted house, kind of spooky, pitch black, dark, things jumping out at your ride, and it's Noah's Ark. And if they still have it, you go into the whale's mouth, and I go through this little dark maze to get into the ark and shit. But before you go into the mouth, there was a sign, and it said, all the animals on Noah's Ark came in pairs, except for the worms. They came in apples.
What? Wow. How about
think about yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, Bruno and Steve were like the two guys together that ran around, and he knows he's got a reputation for being a stooge, and he probably, I think that was part of his job. You know what I mean?
Sure. Right. It's kind of, somebody's got to do it, and good for him for being able to do it. And he did it for how many years? He was there for like 25 years at the bare minimum, right?
Is he gone now? He's gone, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think he's there anymore. I think he's been out for a while. I think he might have got cut along with like Jerry Briscoe and stuff like that back in like 2020.
Okay. Yeah, Mickey, do you remember the referee Mickey J?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So known him since 91 in Florida when I got the name Rob Van Dam. But when he was working for WWE as a referee at one point, they made him a stooge, and they said, we can't have people just showing up whenever the fuck they want at these house shows. And he said, so they had him at the door writing down what time people show up and stuff. Oh, and I come walking in, and I'm like, Mickey, dude, you're really gonna stooge on us? And he was like, yeah, Rob, it's my fucking job. I have to. and it really made me see it different when he said that. I'm like, I guess he's right. Yeah. But I guess he got a point. Yeah, Sabu used to tell me that. He'd say, watch out for all the refs. And part of their job is that they got a stooge. And so I did kind of know that, but I still took it personally until Mickey reminded me. And then I was like, oh yeah, of course, and if you got a fucking big $1 billion company, you're going to want to pay some people to tell you what's going on, inside and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's that's just part of the system, what? Yeah. And it sucks somebody's got to do that, but that's their job, right?
Especially from the hood perspective. They got the wrestlers that sit in the back of the bus. Because we don't get that. We don't understand that. We're like, fucking stooge.
Damn stooge. So how many did ECW have? A lot of stooges, or was it just like No, I didn't think so.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There wouldn't really be that much to Stooge anyway. I mean, it'd be more like, even if you did, I'm just imagining if there was something to Stooge, it seems like it would come across like letting Paul know that one of the boys is about to die because he's, ODing like every fucking night, or, making you aware. That would be a Stooge, but probably for the right reason.
For the right reasons. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. It was crazy. I think it was yesterday. It was like the anniversary when Balls Mahoney passed. I didn't know he was only 44 years old. That's crazy.
2016. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Balls, definitely not a Stooge. Good guy.
No.
Everybody says Balls was a good guy. I don't want to take from him, but the thing about being a Stooge, or in the streets, you call it a rat, right?
Right.
Okay. The thing about being a rat is nobody respects a rat, like not even the police. But at the same time, like, you're reporting crimes. You know what I mean? Like somebody's murdered, and they're trying to find out who did this murder, and you can see how, from a certain perspective, if someone had this information and they wanted to bring it to the officials, it would be something that maybe they feel obligated to do as a respectable citizen or something like that. But in the end, they're just a rat. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was your lost one, lost loved one, whatever, I'm sure if someone knew something and you were like, I know he fucking knows something, a fucking asshole, he knows who fucking did it, you'd hate that person, and you'd think, like, why don't they fucking tell somebody? But then if they ever did, even the cops would look down on him, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's stooging. Yeah.
What a interesting mentality too, because you kind of look at it like, is it justified? But you'd, at the same time too, you'd feel like, oh gosh, dang it, I'm a rat at the same time.
It's a double-edged sword, right? It's a hell of a dichotomy. But the thing is, some people wouldn't do it, and some people would, and that's what you learn from it, and that's the perspective that you take. Is like, okay, these guys, yeah, they would be happy to stooge or to run to the authorities, and just like anything else, just like certain people would chop other people off at the knees so that they can stand above them, and certain people wouldn't. Certain people would never do that. They'd say, fuck no, I'm not gonna fucking stooge off someone, even if I hate him. I'm not a rat, or it's like people respect that they have values without questioning, is it the right value or not.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Even in like workplace situations, like small work, like non-wrestling related stuff, there's like that aspect that goes on. Anytime it's like I'm in a situation where it's like I would kind of be like compromising a coworker or something like that, I don't say anything. I just like, well, whatever. Oh yeah, no, I don't know what they're up to. Whatever, A
lot of people would be a cop, and a lot of people wouldn't. Like there's a lot of people that just would not want that job. A lot of people, even before that, some people would be the monitor, the hall monitor, stooging on other kids, and a lot of kids would never do that.
You're right. Mm-hmm. No, it's not. So, Big Red gave us $5. Thanks for the $5, Big Red.
Big Red.
He gave us another $5 too to ask this. I appreciate you guys reposting my son's picture. Oh, with his new RVD action figure. He had everybody at school that he's friends with RVD now. That's great. Yeah, there was this guy, he posted his son, his 5-year-old son. He had your ultimate figure from Mattel. And
with their removable ponytails.
Yes. They have removable ponytails?
It's got like 3 heads. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that. That was really cool. I was really neat to see that. So if any fans have figures or anything like of Rob, be sure to tag us in it, and I'll be happy to share it on the accounts and everything. So
I get the figure that I see the most at the signings is my rookie figure, the very first ECW figure with the white outfit.
Yes.
People always think it's going to be rare because it's my very first figure, but they must have made way more of that than anything else. Because usually at every signing, I usually see at least a few of them. And always been the
I
case.
looked on eBay, I think, for them, and they're relatively a high price tag, I think, at this point. I don't know how much, but yeah, I had one when I was younger. I had a RVD. We had a whole bunch of the ECW figures.
Yesterday at Steel City Con, not only did I see that one, but somebody had the in the package the RVD outfit with the Japanese rising sun flag. That one,
get a hold of that, right?
Yeah, that one. I asked him, like, you know how hard this is, and to get it, and he said, yeah, that it took him a while to find it online or something like that. But man, I see that every once in a while. I think I've probably seen like 5 or 6 in the package. One of them a fan gave to me, so I have that, of course, in my collection. And there's like a myth behind it. Like they made them, put them in the package, stopped the press. Someone stole them from the office because they couldn't put them out. Who knows? But they're out there, but they're very rare because of the Korean conflict. If you don't know, I don't know that much about the conflict, but I guess somebody was pissed and insulted over the rising flag, which was an actual outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think I wore that at the WrestleMania outfit when it was the new breed versus the old breed. At least in my head.
I remember seeing a picture of you and Sabu together in WWE, and you were wearing that. So I can't remember though where it was at. But yeah.
In Detroit at WrestleMania 21 or whatever it was.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, that sounds right. Somebody did ask a question about WrestleMania. Oh, that's right. One of my colleagues, Robert D. Felice, he wanted me to ask you this. And Natty, the funny thing is, I just interviewed Natty Neidhart, I told you, and like she actually brought this up. Like WrestleMania is actually happening, obviously, this weekend, and she mentioned that how like she always wanted to fight to get on the card no matter what, and then, like as long as you put the effort in, that's kind of what matters. I think is what she was basically getting at. But Robert, my friend, wanted me to ask you about like when you didn't get on a WrestleMania card, was it like? Did you feel the competitive nature to get back on there next year, or how was your mindset in the thick of that action? When like sometimes it'd be people fighting for spots on WrestleMania and they don't necessarily get it.
Right. So first off, it's spark them if you got them time. I bought some pre-rolls this week. Ooh. And I'm about to dive into some head cheese.
Ooh, all right. Shout out to head cheese.
Which I acquired at Thrive Dispensary in Las Vegas. Thank you, Thrive.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, so I can answer that pretty easy from my perspective. See, I felt, I've said this a million times, but you got to have a big ego to be in wrestling, and to tap into something, to cut those promos about why you're the best and no one's going to step in your way and blah, blah, blah. You're going to the top, you and no one else because blah, 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 blah. When you're in that current, at least for me, I felt like I was already a big star before I got to WWE. I'd been wrestling, 12 years, 11, 12 years, something like that. And I was the whole fucking show in ECW, right? And I got hired there after having a couple of years of a lot of publicity of being the guy that WCW wants, WWE wants. I finally went there. It's big news. I'm standing out from all the other guys in ECW. I'm over like Rover. Everyone's got an RVD sign. I'm fucking doing what I'm doing, climbing the ranks. Now, boom, if they do something like not have me on WrestleMania, there's no part of me that says I need to work harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm insulted. I'm like, fuck them. They're paying me. They're invested in me. If they want to make their investment back, they got to do right by me. That's what I don't think that's the right attitude, but it's the one that I've always had. And I actually still do. That's the way that I think it should be. There obviously are more factors, and we talk about them. There's relationships, which also is part of politics. But I've always felt like listen to the crowd, see me out there, do what you think is right. And if what you think is right is leaving me off the pay-per-view, it's just like being in ECW for a Barely Legal. You remember the first pay-per-view when I was Mr. Monday Night, I was insulted because I wasn't on the first ECW pay-per-view. I said, fuck this. I got a job offer from WCW. I'm this status. You got all these guys that are this status filling your card up, and you don't think that I'm going to be an important part of it? Well, fuck off. That's how I felt. I never felt like I need to work harder. I need to kiss more ass. I always felt, like, well, fuck this. And I wouldn't advise that to anybody, but that is what my ego said. Fuck this. Fuck them. I got options. And to tell you the truth, maybe that's not such a bad thing to always think you have options, because I've never felt like I was stuck. I never felt like I had my back up against the wall with anything. And that's outside of the ring. That's like with life. Like a lot of people say, what am I going to do? I have no choice. When a lot of times there are some choices. They may not be choices that you like. They may not be what you think is better than what you're going to do. But a lot of times there are more options than you're allowing yourself to see. And anyway, I think because of my values in that regard, I felt like if somebody isn't using me to my full potential, then some of the bad consequences are going to fall upon them too. That's more how I leaned.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody, though, that obviously you were the whole effing show and you go to WWE? Yes, I think at that point, like, it's egregious to not have you on WrestleMania.
Well,
but like, if you're a younger talent and you're trying to work your way up and you're trying to create a name for yourself, what kind of advice would you give to somebody that was off it and then that felt like that, jilted or upset that they weren't on there?
Here's the thing. Any company would love to have a company full of kiss asses, right? I mean, isn't that somebody that's willing to fucking break their back for you? Isn't that going to be the best kind of employee you can have? Someone that's going to do whatever you say, no matter what, kiss your ass for telling them to do it, and give you no pushback, never complain. That's the perfect employee in any situation, I would think. But I wouldn't want to be that person. I wouldn't advise anyone else to be that person either, unless that's what's in their cards. If that's your path and that fits your values and your morals, then boom, all day long, go for it, whatever. But what I would say is, and this is a point, like you said, that I missed back then, it's cool to get along with everybody. It's cool to have everybody like you. And sometimes you don't care as much if you don't like somebody. You're like, fuck that guy. I'm not going to give him the time of day. And, and I'm not going to take his advice. And I'm not going to fucking make him think, who the fuck is he? Who's he to me? And in reality, if you look like, hey, I get along with everybody, I love everybody, everybody loves me, that's a great position to be in. And it doesn't really or shouldn't necessarily involve kissing ass so much as just, showing your positive attributes and qualities and finding them in other people,
I like that. Absolutely. I think that's such a huge component to any kind of work environment you're in. If you're a positive person and you kind of exude that kind of good energy, I think that gets reciprocated in certain ways, even if like you do kind of go against the grain or anything to that. I think that ultimately does help somebody. Shoot, there was something I was going to, oh yeah. I think in a certain way though, too, you talk about like kind of being like, well, fuck it, I have other options if need be and anything like that. Is there a level though where Vince kind of respected that? It seems like he was the type of guy that if you pushed back in a certain manner, he would respect you a little bit more.
It seems like that, but I only know it from stories just like you, from other people doing interviews, talking about how they dealt with them. From my personal relationship with Vince, I never learned that. I never learned if he respected when I pushed back against him or if I stood strong on my grounds, on my values. I have no idea. All I know is I never had like a real tight bond with him, where we're anything except two people that work together, me for him, and have a lot of respect. I mean, there was a lot of respect shown, but I never, never smoked a doobie with him, never had dinner with him, never had a talk about life with him. So I really can't answer that. And it wasn't for lack of effort on his part. It was just awkward for me at the time. And like I said, that was something that I missed back then. Wasn't ready for it. Wasn't mature enough yet to be able to understand that and handle it.
Yeah. No, that's a different kind of dynamic too that goes on, like with the boss and employee kind of environment, and like how do you really handle this? And
Vince McMahon, if you don't see the talent in me,
get me on WrestleMania.
I'm gonna give you a Van Terminator,
not a coast to coast. Danhausen, question here. Matty Marijuana. He says Danhausen is undefeated. That's right. He won on SmackDown. I don't know if he fought tonight on Raw. Maybe he had him another match. He says RVD Hausen, future tag team champs. You and Danhausen.
How about that?
Did you see Danhausen curse the referee, and the referee hurt his arm?
Yeah.
And then he also cursed Kit Wilson, and the ring pyro exploded behind him.
I saw that too. Yeah, I saw clips of that, I guess. Yeah. So now, I didn't know what he did before seeing those two clips, and now I understand. I didn't when Boogeyman was it the Rastafarian or Voodoo? There was a Voodoo dude. I don't know if it was Boogie or if it was Godfather.
Well, Godfather was Papa Shango.
Did Papa Shango used to do curses on people?
Yes, he did it with the Ultimate Warrior. Remember when he was like bleeding brown ooze out of his forehead?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So people seem to like him.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to really like Van Dawson.
Van Dawson. Yeah. Big fan. He's another Michiganer too. So yeah. You guys have that connection.
Rob Van Dawson.
Rob Van Dawson. That's your Fire Pro Wrestling name. Frankie Turizo always asks the good questions. Info on kickboxing adults while you were a teen. So I guess he's asking, what was it like to kickbox with adults at the time?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, okay, I'm thinking about how much of this story. Probably you guys have heard some of the fucking blueprints of this story. Me and my buddies wanted to wrestle. We would wrestle, and me, Dango, Robert, and Eddie would all wrestle at Robert's house on Monday nights. It was the Robert Dome. His mom would go to bingo. His dad was sleeping because he worked. I guess he worked. I don't know if he slept when we were there. He must have worked all day or something. But Robert didn't want his parents to know we were there, that he even had us over, but we were always trashing his house. And we would all move all the furniture around in the living room of the Robert Dome, pull the cushions on the floor, and we'd watch wrestling, and we'd have these long matches, like probably a lot of kids do. But we were serious. We wanted to be pros when we grow up. And all four of us liked wrestling that much. Our heart was in it. And we wanted to wrestle any chance we got, anywhere there was room to take some bumps especially if it was just what we called showing off, which other people thought we were idiots probably, but we would want to do it in front of people. And anyway, Battle Creek's a small town, and word got out. Little rumor, there was a guy, people would tell me, like, have you seen on that ring? It's in Verona. This guy has a ring in his backyard. And I was like, that's what so-and-so said. What the fuck? Where's it at? I haven't seen it. I got to find it. Well, we went to the guy's house. He's got a ring in his backyard. It's the only ring in Battle Creek. You got it different times. This was forever ago. And there was only like probably 2 gyms, maybe even 3 gyms. It was complete different people, different society. Anyway, we knocked on his door. The guy is Kit Likens. He's a kickboxer. He's a kickboxing promoter, and he's really interested in us saying, "Hey, we wrestle. We want to get in your ring and wrestle." And he says, "Well, if you show up Wednesday, you train with my guys. He does kickboxing, he does boxing, but he doesn't do wrestling. But he would let us do wrestling by ourselves after everybody else went home when we're all tired and beat up from doing all of the drills and sparring and all that stuff. And through that, I got to really like kickboxing, and I stood out. Either hanging with the very experienced fighters that he had, or straight up knocking them or my friends out. And I started just really liking it. So when we would do shows, they would be shows where drunk people are. They were bar shows, and they were outdoor party shows. And like we would help him set the ring up and everything. But it was something he'd been doing. So he would advertise it. Sometimes there was a tough band contest at St. Mary's Lake one time. There was a show at the Kodiak Lounge in Battle Creek downtown. Our first show was at Peppers in Kalamazoo, which actually was a strip club. We skipped school, drove the ring there thinking we were going to set it up, and they wouldn't let us in the building. So we had to wait in the parking lot while they set it up. But at nighttime, we would be looking forward to our wrestling match that we would set up. We weren't trained professionally. We were just really big fans and thought we knew a lot. And we would choreograph either a tag match or singles matches sometimes. And then afterwards, all of us were like standby fighters in case something happened or whatever. And I was like really passionate about it. Sometimes I might even have a match already planned, booked, and then still want another one, especially if the show is like really long outside, and if the match went really short or whatever, be like, you need another opponent, I'm right here, and so it was like during that time that drunk people would want to get in the ring. And Kit never set me up against like a 25-year-old or something like that. He would try to make the setup match even, but when the challengers would want to come in, I would want to fight them. There's one I don't have footage of this, but I think I've seen it for some reason, or maybe a picture of me sitting on the guy's back afterwards. But there's a guy in the crowd, and can you hear me?
Yeah, Frankie said he saw footage of you online. That's why he asked the question, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, some of that footage on the documentary also was from the Tough Man contest. So, they told the story, but they showed some of the footage, which again, I just turned 19, and then I was fighting the heavyweights, up to 400 pounds and adults in the Tough Man contest. But at the like for instance, at the Kodiak Lounge, we had our matches and stuff, and then afterwards there was this guy saying, I could kick any one of these guys' asses. And I was going, come, please, kid, let me have him, dude, let me have him. And he was like, Rob, you're 15 or whatever. He was like, he goes, yeah, just relax, and he goes, and I was going, no, come on, I'll be fine, dude. I'm going to beat this guy's ass. Bring him in. And he was like, Rob, you don't know, this is an adult that hangs out at bars and drinks, like they could fight dirty, and I don't want to be responsible for you getting hurt. And I'm like, fuck that, bring him in, come on, I want him. And anyway, finally, the guy was like, yeah, let me in, I'll kick his ass, I'll kick all your asses. And anyway, a guy came in, boom, 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 knocked him down. I sat on his back and did like a double bicep. and those were the times, like the kid was talking about in the documentary, where I was fighting adults, and it was with the 16-ounce gloves on and foot pads. Maybe we had headgear. I don't think we did, though. I don't think we used headgear back then. I don't think I was familiar with that when we used them in the Tough Man contest, if I remember right. But yeah, and then the Tough Man contest, I joined when I was 18, but then turned 19 in December, and then March, Kalamazoo in March. I got my trophy sitting. Can you see it on the camera? No, but
No.
I got my my trophy right there. 1990 Kalamazoo Tough Man contest at the Wing Stadium. And I made it through to the main event and fought this guy, Manuel Rodriguez, who was like 350 pounds. And it was his, like, I can't remember the exact number, but he'd been in like over 20 of these contests. Like he was a veteran. So to hang with him till the end was something I should have been proud of. But I was like, oh, I knew I could have beat him. Because I, like, one time, he fought dirty too, by the way.
Oh, did he? Ooh.
Yeah, like he would grab the back of your head and pull your head down and uppercut your face. That was one of his moves. Saw him do it to everybody. And also on there, he stepped on my foot and he hit me and I went down, but I did a somersault, got back to my feet, but the ref made an 8 count. I was like, what? That wasn't a knockdown. And that was the only knockdown of the fight, was that I fell when he stepped on my foot. But I took the runner-up prize and he won the championship. And instead of being real proud, I was like, I felt like I just missed it by fucking up. And so I was like mad at myself. And looking back at it, I was pretty cocky because I remember in the dressing room, the guy that won telling me, like, you should be proud of yourself, kid. You did good. You know, like he was thinking, like, you're fucking lucky. Shut up, asshole. Because I was like, yeah, man, I should have won. I could have beat you. And I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I was just that dumb. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. So he was 350 pounds. How much were you at that time?
I think I was 190 or 185, and the cutoff was right below that. There was 2 weight classes. There was heavyweight, which I think was maybe 185 and up or something, or maybe 160. Yeah, 165 to like 175 or 180. Somewhere in there was the lightweight, and then everything above was heavyweight, and I was somewhere 185 ish.
Wow. So what a difference. Jeez, that is impressive.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, we had the gloves on and stuff. And I fought dirty too in that one because you're not supposed to kick to the head, but that was the first thing I did. The whole thing was dirty. Bro, this was the dirtiest because even like the announcing, you know, like if they thought somebody was about to go down because they're like, you know, you're in a, like, let's say you got someone in the corner and you're going at it, bam, 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 bam. They'd be like, oh, 3 seconds left. 3 seconds left. Oh, are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? Let's see. 3. Oh, shit. 2. Here we go, guys. And they'd be waiting, hoping somebody would drop. And that's the way the whole thing was. If it was a really boring match, they'd be like, 2 minutes left, 2 minutes left. And if they were just not even touching each other but dancing around, they'd be like, hit the bell, ding, ding.
Get them out of there.
I'm not even exaggerating. That's how the whole show was. So I kicked him in the face, and the people popped, and then they liked it. Even the ref smiled, you know.
Even the ref liked it. I'll allow
Which is probably my only chance anyway. You know, thinking, you know, I'm not going to outbox a veteran dirty boxer when I'm 19, probably. But
yeah.
Anyway, there's some stories for Frankie Turizio.
Those are some good ones. Those are some damn good ones.
And the Don smoking Jack Hare, or he got some Jack Hare.
Oh, really?
And talk about Jack all the time. Jack Hare was my mentor. If you don't know, he was one of my mentors and friend, and taught me a lot about weed early on.
Oh, okay.
Now he's a strain. So people don't even know it was a real guy. They just know they're smoking Jack Hare, and they don't even know how to say his last name. So they're like, oh, I got some Jack Hare. Yeah, people fuck his name up. I did too till he told me. He said it's like terror. Think of terror. Easy.
Oh, Jack Hare. Yeah. He was a big advocate, right? He got the word out about it.
Yes, and like a lot of us in many ways, he was way ahead of his time. People weren't ready to hear it yet. He said that hemp could save the planet. There's over 5,000 uses for this plant, and it could replace 80% of everything, not just shitty clothes and paper, everything. Wow. Lumber, even the paint that you put on the wall, and shampoo and everything. You can eat it. use it as fuel. Henry Ford made a car of hemp. It was stronger than metal, and it fucking ran on hemp seed fuel oil. And you use that as fuel. You could have a distillery in your backyard and be like self-sufficient, which is counterproductive to a capitalist society. And for those reasons, not the moral reasons, cannabis always got the pushback because it would affect and compete with so many huge conglomerates that the world leaders own. And Jack was like one of the first guys to publicly be committed to spreading that word like everywhere he went. And so, of course, people thought he was crazy.
Yeah, right. You're on the forefront of it all. Everybody's going to go push back against you. And if you're going up against people in power that have stake in the game, then they're going to try to dissipate what you're saying.
He made this thick ass book called The Emperor Wears No Clothes. It's like a thick fucking phone book from New York City or something. And he, it's thick anyway. He would have that for sale, but also he carried them around in a bag. And I've seen him several times, like during conversation, if somebody was really interested in what he was saying, he would just give them a book because he cared more about educating people on the truth and helping the plant. It's like a lot of us, there's a saying, the plant can't speak for itself. It needs people like us to speak for it. And Jack was definitely one of the pioneers.
How about that? Man, that's great to know. Holy smokes. Well, we got some good super chats in here. Let's take a look. Oh, Jim the Don just says, happy to see you healthy for WrestleMania. Got you some goodies. Jim the Don has some stuff for you. Jim the Don has some stuff for you.
Looking forward to seeing you. Probably at the nerd after party, if nowhere else. It's where I saw him last year.
Sunday night.
Busy. This week is going to be crazy busy, dude.
It's going to be fun.
Every year afterwards, when I'm exhausted, I always say next year I'm not going to go that hard. I'm going to give myself more time to rest because I was wiped out for weeks afterwards the last 2 years in a row. And instead, I went, and doubled down on my busyness this year. But it's all going to be worth it. It's going to be really productive. And thank God it's in my own city. That's a huge advantage, being able to sleep in my own bed, hold my own babies.
Yeah. Hang out with Katie and the pooches too.
Yeah, all that.
All that stuff.
Hang out in my own cool office.
That's it. A wrestling historian. Thanks for the Canadian $2, eh? He says, what got you to come back at guilty as charged 2001? What prompted you to come back?
Well, one, I was able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, timing wise, although I had officially left ECW, I went to Thailand and was doing this movie, Black Mask 2, which I really enjoyed. I was there for like 5 weeks and had a blast. And then came back. I was putting my schedule together, and Paul wanted me to hit this pay-per-view, and we worked out some terms. It wasn't like I didn't want to wrestle. I just I didn't want to even quit, but it was just like I felt like every show that I did for ECW, I felt like I was digging a deeper hole with the shovel and was just going to keep getting bigger because I was incurring a growing debt. But at the same time, it was kind of balanced off because I was still getting paid. Is that? Oh.
No, you're good.
Did the screen just go black?
You froze for a second, but you're okay now.
What the fuck?
Can
Okay.
you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, I worked out terms with Paul over the phone, said, you gotta pay me in cash this time, and you gotta pay me double what you paid me before and shit like that. And so boom. So I came in And it felt like a return, even though I hadn't been gone that long. It did feel like a special surprise, like return, like boom, like not just RVD's here, he's part of the card, but guess who's here? It's the whole fucking show, Rob Van Dam, the man that everybody paid to see.
Yeah, absolutely. You fought Jerry Lynn in the main event there. I just saw it. You went 24 minutes, over 24 minutes in the main event.
And then Paul said, you mean cash? I've told that story so much. Like, why are you giving me a check? What is this? You mean cash? No, good old Paul.
Good old Paul.
I check.
Speaking of, Isabanza Arroyo. Isaban Arroyo, I think his name is. 704. He asked, when was the last time? Yeah. When was the last time you spoke to Heyman? Was it wrestling related too when you spoke to him?
Well, is spoke sending a text or spoke having a conversation?
How about both? When's the last time you texted? When's the last time you spoke to him?
I believe the last time I heard from him probably was via text congratulating me for the babies, nice. which was 3.5 months ago that we had the babies. So sometime in the last 3 months since Christmas. And last time I talked to him was when I was there for Cena's match. I sat in catering with Paul and Bruce Pritchard for a while. Jesse Ventura came over and talked for a little bit. And I don't know what we talked about.
Nice.
Yeah. I know what Jesse was talking about.
Rob, good to see you.
Yeah, Jesse was talking about we now live in a third world country. You know how I know? That came out kind of southern. You know how I know? Because in third world countries, and I've been to them. I've been to San Salvador. No, I don't know where he was saying he's been, like but he was like, he said, and I can't disagree. In those third world countries, the cops walk around with big fucking, I don't know, the AR rifles or whatever the fuck they are, but big fucking guns. And it always stands out. It was like that in Tijuana. It was like that. Well, anyway, especially like around after 9/11, it was like that everywhere, even in like, I think the UK and shit. But sometimes when you see at the airport, sometimes like in Tijuana, it was like around the streets, like there'd be like a truck driving down the road with a whole bunch of like soldiers in the back of the truck, armed, ready to fuck somebody up, and that was just it's the opposite of a peaceful feeling. But Jesse's point was saying, because of the ICE agents, which we didn't even know they were called ICE agents back then, and it's Saturday night's main event, like what was that, 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah,
we heard of them. Didn't even know who the fuck they were, but we knew there was armed fucking soldiers doing the police work and militarizing all the cities. And anyway, that's what Jesse was talking about,
Yeah. The Jesse Ventura impressions are the best. There's a Robert Karpelis here. He's actually my co-host for Rumor and Innuendo. He says, wait, you have a third Robert in your life? That's true, I do.
A third Robert. Oh, Robert Jackson, the kid I wrestled with?
No, so Jew, Rob Van Dam, Robert Karpelis, and then the guy that asked the question to you earlier, Robert D. Felice, is who is referring to.
Oh, shit. I missed that.
3 Roberts. I have probably a couple more too, I'm sure. My grandfather's name was Robert too. So. Robert
Jackson, Eddie Hawksworth, Dango Wynn, and RVD. We were the 4 wrestlers. And then obviously Dango and I kept going. I was the one out of the 4 that kept going full time. Dango went for a while, went back home, came back out for a while. Did that a few times, trying to balance between, love life, real life, and following his dreams and all that shit.
Yeah, it's tough to do. It's tough to do back then, and I still find it people are finding it tough to do now. And it was crazy that you were saying too last week how short a wrestler's like career span is if you look at it from the grand scheme of it all. Where it's never really fathomed to me because I've seen you guys wrestle for like decades on end, big names, but smaller names, they're only there for.
We're not the majority, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the majority. Not everyone gets to be a legend, and you know, a lot of wrestlers, if they do 6 to 10 years, that's a long time to be doing something, and then all of a sudden not do it anymore, you know.
Yeah,
right. But a lot of guys, they give it that long, and then they kind of know if they're going to be able to feed themselves and their family off of it, or if they're going to have to put some energy into something else.
That's it, right? Yep. Where does it all line up for you exactly? This is a funny one. Maddie asked, can RVD get Dom backstage at WrestleMania? He's our guy. I think I'll have to sneak in somehow. I'd have to
yeah, I am so fucking busy the whole week. But I just mentioned to Katie, like, if we did want to go, that I think Sunday would be the day that maybe I could go if I wasn't dead tired. And she got all excited, of course, because she always wants to go.
Does she want to go? Yeah, to the show.
Of course.
I saw her fingernails that she's gonna have for the.
You saw that? They look crazy.
Yeah.
Detailed RVD on her fingernails.
Yeah. The one girl posted that did her nails, posted the video of it all, and she went into detail of the process. I was like, that was really cool.
Yeah, I saw that when I was on an airplane coming home from Pittsburgh last night. Pretty cool, a lot of detail, and she loves getting dressed up for Hall of Fame. You know, I think all the girls do. And I like seeing all the girls dressed up, looking beautiful for WrestleMania and Hall of Fame. Planning on going to Hall of Fame, and then everyone already knows Monday I'm at the WWE World. Besides that, they're still scheduling stuff right now. As busy as I am, I'm still waiting to schedule some obligations and commitments that I've got. So it's a good week, you know. It's a good week. Yeah. I'm gonna after this podcast, I'm gonna be sleeping until Thursday, I think, just so I can start off on the right foot.
You can prep it on up. I know I got so much work to do before I fly out to Vegas here. Motivational determination. Thanks for the $2. Any relationship advice? Do you believe in 50-50 in a relationship?
Let's see. I don't know exactly what that pertains to. If there's a 50-50 rule, what is it? What are the boundaries to it? Do you know? Is there like a relationship etiquette called 50-50 where you like split the bill, or are we talking about as much as you put in to the relationship? Any idea?
I would assume how I viewed it was not so much like split the bill, but how much you put into the relationship, the give and take of it all. Like, should it be a relationship be
50-50? Man, yes. I mean, it should be 100-100 in my opinion. Ideally, which I know that's 200% and that's not possible, but I'm just saying, you aim for the stars. You know what I mean? Like, every relationship is different. But best case scenario, for me is what I got. I mean, I'm very happy, and Katie gives me all the self-confidence I need. Mm-hmm. She makes me feel like she loves me 24/7 so much that, like, I never think anybody else could possibly love me as much as she does. The way that she sees me, the way she looks at me, the things that she says to me, she thinks I'm the toughest guy on the planet. She thinks I'm the best wrestler on the planet. She thinks I'm the most gorgeous man on the planet. And that's how she makes me feel. So I don't need validation from banging a stripper on the road without her. Now, if she's with me, that's another story. We're not talking about that. But for me, it's like you could say, hey, you should wear your hair a different color, or you should try this. No, I already got my stylist. I got my complete source of all the info I need. If she tells me to dress like an asshole and everybody else laughs, I'm all set. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need from everybody else what I need from her. And she's so good at giving that. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, you shoot for the stars. So I'm talking ideally. And so I believe that I give that back to her. I know that she trusts me completely. She doesn't question if I'm lying to her, because I don't lie to her. I don't tell her one thing and it's dishonest, because really it's not the real thing that happened. I don't do that. And I would never want to betray the trust that she has for me, because I feel like I have to earn that. And if I feel like I deserve the way she's treating me, and she feels like she deserves the way that I treat her, and we're both very happy, then guess what? Fulfillment. If you're not fulfilled, you're not fulfilled. You need something, you know? And if you need something more out of your partner, tell them. Tell them. Maybe they have it for you and they just need to make an effort, you know? Katie taught me how to love and how to show love, and I'm a lot more in touch with my emotions because of that. You know, I'm not the most emotional showing person. You know, I think it wouldn't be incorrect to call me stoic. I'm not really good at hugging. I don't tell all my relatives and friends I love them, even though I do. But it's not easy to say for me. Maybe if you have a partner and there's something missing, maybe they do have those feelings. They're just not good at showing, and you need to bring them out of them, or you need to develop that part of your relationship, the give and take, because you know, what's the other option besides the 50-50 that you mentioned? Like you saying, hey, it's okay, you're not in love with me, I love you, and someday maybe you'll fall in love with me. I mean, they do that. They do that shit on TV all the time. Well, I can't marry you. I don't love you. Well, that's okay. Give us some time. You'll learn to love me. No, fuck that. That's not what you want to shoot for anyway. If that's what you got, I'm not trying to dog your relationship. I'm just trying to give advice on what to shoot for if you are looking at options. If your back isn't against the wall, like I talked about earlier, which it never is. You can leave, and I'm not saying that you should, but I'm just saying, you know, you're not always stuck when you feel like you're stuck. And when it comes to a relationship, it also depends on how important your relationship is to you in your life, in your day. I can imagine a scenario. Let's say I got a full-time job. Let's say I got hobbies. Let's say I like hanging out with my guy friends, you know, 5 nights a week or whatever. All I want for a relationship is just a girl that's attractive, that I can bang a couple times, and maybe go to the movies or talk to every once in a while. If that's what you want, you should expect the same in return, you know, in my opinion. That's not the way a lot of guys do it. A lot of guys want their girls to think the girl is everything to them, even though in reality the girl is like 1 out of 10 girls that they have in rotation, and they want all of them to think that they're much more important than they are. And they want them to think that because they don't want their girls seeing other dudes. They want all the commitment, all the sacrifice, all the giving, and then they just want to give a little bit in return. That's not a very good balance. It's not going to make both parties happy. It's not fair if you value fairness. And either way, you should value someone else's life enough to not waste it, in my opinion.
I think that's great advice. I think too, yeah, it's like, I think it's tough to really put a number of 50-50 on it too. It's like, what is that your significant other getting out of the relationship? I think is the most thing. If they're getting their fulfillment out of what that person is giving to them, then is there a number really necessary? I don't think it's necessarily necessary to have a 50-50. We're split. It's fair and square kind of thing. I think, yeah, it's definitely more more what you put into it.
Yeah. So for me, my relationship, as opposed to the scenario I just mentioned, where maybe a relationship is just something down your list of things that your requirements way down the list. For me, it's number one.
Right.
You have given the priority speech so many times. If you're married to me, you're my number one priority. And that works great for me. So for me, my relationship is everything. I get everything that I need from her. And she gets everything she needs from me, including even babies, even if it wasn't in my plans, because she fulfills me so much. I want to see her fulfilled. I want to see her being the happiest girl, happiest woman on the planet. And I feel like if she's my wife, that she deserves that. That's how much I respect that position. And man, it just, for us, it's everything. It's everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Doesn't mean it has to be for you, but if you're telling your partner that she's everything and she's really not, then, don't kid yourself. You're not being very authentic.
You're not being very, and communication's key in a relationship. So you got to communicate.
Yes, it is. If you want respect, you got to deserve respect. If you want trust, you got to deserve trust. And if you don't, because you're like, when are you going to forget that I banged that hoe? That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You don't get to say how long it takes. You fucked up. You wouldn't trust her if she did that. So
right.
Could be an idiot.
Could being a dumbass. Lady Nisa, she's been a member for 9 months. Thank you, Nisa. She says, dabbing glitter bomb tonight. What is your favorite strain of the year so far, Rob?
Of the year. So now I gotta it wasn't Jem got me the Tangy last time. That was my definitely Tangy.
Okay.
And that's my favorite of all time. I haven't had it in years, but did have it just recently, and it brought back so many memories. It smelled and tasted so good. If you get a chance, check out Tangy.
Check out the Tangy.
Tangerine, I believe, was the original way back in the day.
Oh,
but you're not gonna see that probably.
Yeah. All right. Take a look around, everybody. Maddie asks this: can RVD smoke a bong for Hulk? Documentary on Netflix soon. Yeah. Did you catch some of the trailer of the documentary? Did we talk about that? The documentary?
No, we didn't talk about it. I know they're doing it. They're showing it. I haven't seen the trailer, but I'm looking forward to the movie. And also, I mean, not to jump from that, but also, by the way, they're doing a couple of drama presentations. One on Eddie Guerrero.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't see that one advertised?
No. Oh, is that the A&E stuff?
It's a drama movie. No, it's a movie.
It's a movie. Really?
Yeah.
I did not see this. I'll have to look. Wow.
It's a well-known name playing Eddie. I can't think about it right now. Alexa, who's playing Eddie Guerrero in the upcoming movie?
My gosh.
A movie about Eddie Guerrero.
She says there's no
However,
confirmed.
A viral poster recently imagined Pedro Pascal playing the wrestling legend.
When I first saw it, I thought it might be fake, but then I saw it a couple more times and talked to Katie about it. And we were convinced it's real. Now I'm not sure.
No, I'm looking right now, and it does look like Alexa may be right. Yeah, it's just hypothetical.
No.
Hypothetical. Pedro, he would be good Eddie. He would be a good Eddie. A little older now, though.
I saw they're doing a movie with on Tommy Karate Patera, who was
we talked about him.
Yeah, I don't remember what we said about him, but he was a mobster with the Bonanno crime family in New York.
He got shot in the head, right?
He got shot? No, he's in jail. No. You're talking about someone different. You're talking about BC in Philly, probably. But you talking about John BC in Philly? They got shot in the back of the head, turned around, and
no. There was an Asian guy that got shot in the head, right?
Oh yeah, no. You're talking about Tokyo Joe in Chicago. Joe
Okay.
Ito. Joe Ito got shot.
Joey,
3 times in the
yes,
head.
that's what it was. That's
No,
what it
okay,
was.
but anyway, Tommy Karate Patera. He's not Asian.
Mhm.
They call him. His name's Tommy Patera. They call him Karate because he actually went to Japan and studied martial arts and was allegedly a badass that could really fight. And he was very violent and liked killing people. And when he would kill them, he would chop them up, put them in suitcases. And then there's a bird sanctuary property out on Staten Island that he would bury the suitcases in. So when his buddy finally ratted on him, they went to Staten Island and did some digging and found all the suitcases. And also Tommy Patera had his wife or girlfriend, whatever she was, that he was in love with. She was doing drugs with this other girl, pissing him off. He told the other girl, "Stay the fuck away from her. Don't bring that shit around. You don't come around." And then his girl OD'd.
Oh gosh.
Partying with her. So he went and found her, shot her while she was sleeping in bed. Just according to the story, just went, where is she? And fucking boom. And then cut her head off, kept it in the refrigerator. And then I think Phyllis was took her head around fucking for a while, freaking everybody out. This is Tommy Karate Patera. They're doing a movie on him, and they say that the guy that's playing him, when I saw, everybody was disappointed and we're saying, no fucking way, because this guy's not. But Pete, the guy from Saturday Night Live, he was banging one of the Kardashians.
Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson, yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be Tommy Patera.
He's supposed to play him, really? Oh, yes. I see it right here. Pete Davidson to star as mafia killer Tommy Karate. That'll be an interesting one. Does he look like him at all, Rob?
A good actor can bring you in and make you believe, the story. So maybe good enough. Not really.
Yeah.
I don't think he looks a lot like him, but does it say anything about when it comes out?
I'm trying to see my internet's not loading up on the. Oh, here it goes. It reloaded. Oh, I hit refresh. Come on, skip the ad deadline. Okay, Pete Davidson stars mafia killer Tommy Karate with Paul Walter Hauser, the DA agent who chased him down. Let's see. They have a release.
It wasn't Paul Walter. That's what they said.
He's playing the DEA agent. Paul Walter Hauser is that chases him down.
Oh, let me see if I can come up with his name. Hold on.
I'll see if I can find it on here too.
Okay, the guy, the DEA agent, is I guess now the ex-brother-in-law of one of my close friends.
Oh, really?
He was his evil ex's brother was the Irish cop that busted Tommy Karate. He ran into him with his car when they actually did the bust. He rammed his car into his, boom, and made him think it was the guy. Tommy thought it was a fender bender or whatever, and they did that to surprise him and catch him unaware. They hit him, and they all jumped out, the cops. And what's his name?
I have it.
You do have it, okay? James. It's James, right?
Yep.
Something with an F.
Nope, but close.
James H.
Yes.
James, not Hines.
Nope.
No, that's who's Hines? My last name is Hines.
Tommy.
Okay. Fuck. Go ahead and tell me.
Hunt. James Hunt.
Oh, easy.
Very
Mike
close.
Hunt. Yeah. Yes.
Impressive though, Rob. Geez, that's really impressive stuff.
Yeah, I told you I got jet lagged today. I'm doing better than I thought I would. But
You are. You're doing a heck of a lot better.
But anyway, yeah, dude. He was his sister. My friend was married to, so I got a little insight on that. But anyway, interesting character though, Tommy Karate.
Imagine carrying a head around,
Yeah,
freaking people out with it. It's nuts.
the Westies did that too, by the way.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, in Hell's Kitchen. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, that's a way to scare people. That's for sure. Yeah. If you want your money or you want retribution, you carry a head around. I think people will start.
Can you imagine that's your life? Like you and I are going to go out tonight, to whack somebody and kill them and cut them up into pieces and shit. Like that's just a whole different reality to think about actually living that life.
I know, right? Oh my God. Jeez. Okay, a couple more super chats and we'll close it on it. Frankie Turizo, thanks for the $2. What were some of Dango's moves related to yours?
So he did something where he would throw you into the ropes, drop in a split, and then I think as you jump over, I think he would, if I have it right, he would grab your leg and roll backwards into some kind of like a leg lock or something.
Okay.
And he wanted to call it he was still trying to come up with a name, but he jokingly called it the split second finish.
Oh.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have even claimed that he came up with the split-legged moonsault and I stole it from him. But he was always claiming stuff like that. He claimed that Ted DiBiase pointed to him in the front row, and then I just like pushed him back and jumped over the guardrail and went in there and got that TV spot.
I like the urban legend.
Yeah, but yeah, that. That's what and we both kickboxed and we both were acrobatic, and so we were doing moves very close to each other, and then if he had a really good one, sometimes I'd be like, damn, I wish I would have thought of that first. Well, I think back to like one of the first jobs I had. I mean, I don't even know, maybe I might be 15, I don't know. I don't know how old I am right now, but it was I never talk about this, but it was at the Battle Creek Gun Club, loading clay pigeons onto the machine. And then everyone's got rifles and they go, pull. And when they say pull, you hit the button and this arm flings the fucking clay pigeon out and then they shoot it. And I would sit down there in the little box and have to listen for them to go pull. And they were assholes if you were too late or you're getting behind because your box is empty. You're like, fuck. And you accidentally put 2 clay pigeons on at the same time. And it goes, and they'd be pissed because you're fucking their game up. And a lot of shit like that happened. And we were goofballs. But I remember like doing some of our first wrestling right there in the grass. I remember Dango, and Dango was wrestling for the school.
In high school? You were?
I don't know if it was high school yet, if we're freshmen, or if we had junior high wrestling, or what the fuck. I really don't remember. I just remember that he had more amateur knowledge than I did, and he he knew the basics, of pivoting around and this and that. And I remember him showing me the first suplexes that we did. This might have been before the Robert Dome, but the very first suplexes that he showed me. Yeah. He had me like in a front face lock, and then all he would do is just hook the other arm, not put it over like they do on TV, but just hook it and roll back. And of course it makes the person like flip over. And I guess it was an amateur suplex. And I just remember him showing me that and us doing that to each other over and over again in the grass. And that it was a while till I learned, to how to do the whole fucking pro wrestling suplex. But that was a suplex throw that he taught me. And that, and I remember one that I did where I would like, do you know what a victory roll is?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you don't, you're on there, you sit on someone's shoulders and then you roll down, you grab their legs and it rolls them up. I remember doing something like that before I saw it, but it was more of a throw than a roll up. And I would like throw the guy with my legs and I wouldn't go jump up on him when he was standing. I would like, kind of, it was a little more of a amateurish, like we were amateur wrestling, like the suplex. So I would like have you bent down and step over your head, and then have my legs, just like locked under your chest and do a somersault and try and throw you that way. But we were like actually wrestling each other, not give and take so much back then. It was more, like I said, he had the amateur wrestling, was teaching me some of that.
Yeah.
Eventually, by the way, one thing I'll add to the Dingo moves and competition, when we learned that we could backflip off of anything as long as we were landing on our feet, I started going higher and higher as far as sources to backflip off of, and then he would go lower. So he would, like I would say, go up to the third step and do a backflip off of it and land, and he would go like a step down and do a backflip up to the level.
Up. Oh, he'd go up. Wow.
Yeah, that was something he was. Yeah, even though we were always better than the other person at something, but we could never admit it.
Yeah. How about that?
He was better at that. Yeah.
What a fun rivalry. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maddie
But
said,
now it seems like with my adult views, RVDology as we call it, and looking at competition the way that I do, now I just think, going back in time, what would have been wrong would just being, like, yeah, you're better at those than I am, or yeah, the girls seem to like you more than they like me, or whatever, but you just couldn't do that. And that's one of those things where a lot of people never change. That's fine. But for me, part of reprogramming to the perspective that I have right now, it includes removing the competition, like unless it's a straight up foot race and you're competing, when it's just life and you're comparing my house to your house, or whatever, my wife to your wife, or my accomplishments to yours, or my whatever, my belt to your belt, like whatever, everything in life people look at like a I've actually had people say to me, by the way, like put down their own wife, like while they're talking, and it's so exposing of their perspective, the way they're thinking. But somebody saying like, like, you married? Yeah, I think I said you married. And they go, oh, yeah, I'm married, man. Been married for 4 years. She's all right. But she ain't hot like yours or anything. But she's all right. Why would you say that about your own fucking wife? And why would you think I'm gonna judge you? Especially, I'm not even seeing her anyway. But it's just, but what a way to think. Like, obviously, he doesn't put her first, right?
right.
Never, me or her would never say something about the other one like that to bring someone else in between us. And that's one of those things where you understand the priorities,
That's Rob. That's crazy you bring that up, because there's a huge story in sports going on right now where the head coach of the New England Patriots was caught. There was photos of him with this top sports journalist from the New York Times. She's a female top sports journalist, and they were caught on a private rooftop in like Phoenix, Arizona, which was like it's a hotel where it's like a couples hotel, and they met up, and like, so these pictures of them like kind of connecting with one another, assuming it looks very like romantically involved. Like, obviously they're not doing it on the camera, but there was stuff that really implied like intertwining fingers. Ooh, NYC Diesel, check it out. But like, this woman, you go back and watch her on like sports programs and stuff like that, and she'd be trashing her husband, like on camera, like kind of saying like, oh, my husband, yeah, he's just average, and things like that. And then she mentions things like that, or like, oh yeah, we're getting a divorce, or like things like, she'd be saying like this crazy stuff on air to people. And I was like, how, as a husband, I would feel so insulted by all that stuff. And I'd be like, listen, this relationship's not working. We're done. Like, this is not going to happen.
Sometimes you get stuck in a situation like that and you don't know how to get out,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And you're like, fuck it, cheaper to keep her.
Right. But it's just like, it's really telling when somebody does that to you, and it's like, that person does not have respect for their other significant other in this relationship. relationship.
I think I might have mentioned this last week, but I had a guy working on my yard a couple years ago. And do you remember? You know where I'm gonna? I already said this, didn't I? Anyway,
You might have. Britt, tell it. It'll hit me again.
Guy, he's a cement guy, and he's working on our tile and shit, and he talks way too much, so much I had to quit using him. He just talk. But at one point, like when we're out there, and Katie comes out and says something, but hey, whatever, something. Went back inside, and he's like, "That's your wife?" And I said, "Yeah," and he goes, "She seems cool." Like that's a question.
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna say, "Oh,
no,
she has her moments, but." I was just like, I'll be offended till the end of my life that the guy actually thought that he was going to come in between me and my wife, and I was going to say anything to him about her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I would never even do that. Like her and I are a team, and we got each other's backs. I mean, even if we were fighting that day, then maybe I'd tell him she seems cool. Maybe I'd say we're having one of those fights today, which I wouldn't say anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But either way, though, I mean, like I'm gonna say like, well, yeah, I mean, she's all right. Are you married? Let's suck each other's dicks and drink a beer and be guys. Gross. That ain't my game.
No, right? It's it's funny people make those assumptions too. Like, oh yeah, he'll talk about me about his wife with me. Yeah.
Because that's the bro code, and fuck the bro code. My whole life, it's been so much easier to not try to fit in.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got a license to do it by finally getting credited as one of a kind. Now people can usually come to the perspective of, well, it works for him, obviously. If not, then whatever. Go on living your life and thinking whatever you do about mine. But yeah, I've always been so much more comfortable not trying to fit in than I have been trying to fit in. And for a lot of people, it's the opposite. I think it's easier to just go with the flow, whatever. But not me. And when it comes to the bro code, like I said before, that's probably important in some of your developing years, maybe male companionship, when you're learning certain things about guys or whatever in your teen years, something maybe, but right now, like to try to have another man's influence, be like, bro, you need a big dog. What do you got a little dog for? You know what I mean? Like, dude, like I don't even want to open up the door to anything like that.
Yeah, people. It's so funny how people
you
like do that.
You need a big dog's dick laying across your leg. What kind of man are you?
Don't you want a bigger dog humping your fucking leg, Rob?
Yeah. Are you gay? Having a little girl dog? You need a big cock. You need a dog that's going to spread his legs laying across your lap. You see his balls there. What? You don't want that?
You want his balls on your carpet, Rob?
Do you have an ounce of man in you? Are you a big fucking pussy? That's my feelings on most of the hanging out with bros. It's just but we all have what we're attracted to and distracted from, and fucking I definitely have some friends that are guys. I'm not saying that, but when it comes to let's get broed, no. Nah. I don't want to get broed.
I do like big dog balls on my car.
You guys give each other bro jobs? I don't even want to hear about it.
I don't want to hear about no bro jobs, please.
Have fun. I'll hang out with your ladies while you're doing it.
There you go, right? Maddie says, wake and bake with Domhausen and whole effing show. Rob Van Dam fam would agree. This show is epic. Thank you, Dom. It's more than a show. Always learning and growing. Thanks, Maddie. Thanks.
Sweet. That makes it worthwhile.
Definitely does. Absolutely.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It might not be for you. But if it is, glad to have you.
Glad to have you on board, everybody. Luis Correa. You feel me? 6061. He's from Portugal. He says, hey, RVD, I'm a big fan from Portugal. You've been here a few times and visited Benfica Stadium. you have great memories of the country of Portugal? Take care.
Yes, I do. In fact, RVD was the ASW champion. I'm pretty sure I got those letters right, just because I'm seeing the belt in my head. And believe it or not, I spoke recently to the promoter from Portugal, and he's talking about maybe starting up again. You might see RVD in Portugal possibly this year. I don't know, but I kept in touch with him, and he was just telling me that he's looking to do something again there in Portugal. I have great memories from it. One memory that's so fucking well, first off, I think of the big Jesus Christ, the big famous Jesus Christ statue. So the more famous one is in Costa Rica, but they have one there in Lisbon as well. And people don't know that, but I was there. I was up in it, and I kept trying to find a Jesus Christ action figure that I could take home, because they had like little ones in the gift shop, little statues. And I had good memories. I wrestled Lance Cade there, who has passed away. So that's the only time I wrestled him, but I really liked our match. And so I think of that a lot, because, man, that kid died too young, and his time was still ahead of him. One thing that's crazy that I remember, I think it was the last time that I was there in Portugal for what I'm pretty sure is ASW, but now I'm starting to think it could be something else. So I'll quit saying that. It could be WSW. Yeah, I probably fucked the name of it up. Anyway, yeah.
Portugal Pro Wrestling.
So I might have, man, I've told so many stories that I'm every time I tell a story, I feel like I gotta preface it by saying maybe I said this last week. But anyway, we were staying in a hotel on the beach, and I don't know if it was Lisbon. I think it was, but I'm not 100% sure. I have this on RVD TV. I have footage of it. I was filming and have a video of this, but big ass suite, where it's got like a couple bedrooms, kitchen. I'm walking around looking at the place like, wow, this place is huge. I think they had a few of us rooming in suites together, but we had separate rooms and shit. And I'm looking around the place when we first got there. And at the end of this hallway, there's a door that's like an extra door, because there's already a closet beside it. And, like, what the fuck? What is this door? And I open up the door, and there's a spiral staircase that goes up. Good. You don't know this story.
No, I don't.
It's obviously strange, right? Like, what the fuck is that? So I climb up the spiral staircase, and eventually you reach a ceiling. Just so I push on the ceiling. There was a little lock I saw, like a little gimmick, and then I pushed, and the ceiling went up, and so I breached through the fucking opening, and I'm now coming through a countertop in the room upstairs.
What?
Yeah. Strange. The countertop is a secret door with hinges, and the room was empty. I got up, and I'm like walking around there, and holy fuck. And of course I told, the promoter, and I think Sabu was on that trip, and I can't remember who all was there. It was either Hoovy or Psychosis. Anyway, I didn't tell them though, but I told, who's the guy that fucked it up? Trevor Murdoch. This motherfucker.
okay.
Fucked it up. But anyway, I told those guys, and then I brought them up there, and we're looking at it. We're laughing our asses off. We've never seen anything like that. And then the promoter said he'll put the young guys in that room upstairs so we can fuck with them. And so like he gave them that room, and at first like I'm up there like fucking with the remote control on their TV and shit, you know, trying to make them think it's haunted and laughing. But then Trevor Murdoch went too far because we got in there and we knew that they were gone, like they'd gone to the building or some shit. The promoter helped us, you know, arrange that, but we started doing something. I wanted to do little things to see if they would notice, just move shit around. And then and Trevor started putting like the chairs up on top of the tables and stacking them up and a bunch of shit like that. And it went to the point to where they just knew someone had been in there fucking with them. They weren't going to think it was haunted or anything like that. But anyway, it's called a Murphy door if you look it up, which I know now because now I have one. I have a bookcase in my house that is a secret door, and I love them. And I think I'm going to get more Murphy doors, but this was the first one I'd ever seen. And it wasn't even like it was like a party room connected. They were two complete different rooms. And of course, it made me think, how often is this the deal? And you don't know, but your fucking countertop can be lifted open and people can be like in your room doing shit.
That's wild. I'm looking at Murphy. There's a website. Go to murphydoor.com and you can buy a Murphy door. You can get one for $1,300. You can get one for $800 if you want, everybody. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How about that? That's fucking nuts.
What was I gonna say about the door or
the countertop?
I was just going to reiterate, I have it on video. I don't know if it's on my website or not, but it was an RVD TV episode in Portugal. Seems like, was X-Pac there? Maybe X-Pac was there. I don't know. Like he said, I've been there a couple times, but that's my favorite Portugal story. And when I think about that, it still amazes me. I'm so glad I have it on video.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I never expected when I pushed up on the ceiling, I never expected me to be in somebody's fucking kitchen. I thought maybe there's a secret attic up there, you know, you get extra storage in this room or something. But that was crazy.
Kitchen countertop. You're right in the thick of it. So
and
some of the
little lock gimmick on it. If it was locked, you would never know if you're upstairs anyway. If you check your countertops and go, I just want to make sure. If it's locked, you wouldn't fucking know anyway.
Right, you wouldn't.
Why did they do that? That's so weird.
I don't know. That is funky. Some key Portuguese promotions. CTW Wrestling is one in Libsyn. Is that the one you're thinking of, Rob?
No.
No? Okay. There's World Stars of Wrestling.
Yeah, that's it.
World Stars of Wrestling. Okay. WSW.
So WSW. That was my second guess. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there we go. There it was.
I think so. I think that's
all
it.
Right.
But this was like probably 90.
Take a look. If Trevor Murdoch was around with you guys and you were wrestling with Lance Cade, it was established in 2008.
Oh.
So, not sure.
I was about 10 years off.
Oh, no. It says, amongst its current talent names, the promotion features WWE alumni Rob Van Dam and Joe E. Legend.
Sweet.
So there you are.
There you go.
There you go. All right, a couple more super chats, and then we're going to get on out of here. These are all marijuana related, Rob. Maddie says, sativa or indica, 'tis fun to grow your own for personal.
I always say sativa, man. I like the hybrid, but sativa dominant because you know, even with a decent tolerance like I have, every once in a while I come across some that just makes me
yeah.
You know, and if you're like, hey, I got 8 hours, 10 hours, I want to go to sleep, you know, this will help wind me down. sure, but as far as functioning on and stuff, like a really, really strong indica sometimes does me wrong and makes me, counterproductive. And so I usually say sativa dominant. By the way, I'll be able to give official word soon on this, but rumor has it that RVD products are going to be debuting very soon, like in the next maybe in the next couple of weeks here.
Ooh, all right. Stay tuned, folks. Rob, do you still do the rolling papers? RVD rolling papers?
Well, I still have them, but it's something that I don't sell in like through stores or whatever, because there's like no UPC symbol or whatever you call it, the code. And there's and they're just something I as a novelty, like I got them printed up one time, got like thousands of them, and they're available on my eBay store, which if you go to robvandam.com, it'll take you like right there. But besides that, I usually just have a pocket full of them for at the signings. I usually give them to my special fans, like if they're like, hey, can you write RVD 420 on there? And I'll be like, oh, sure, I can do that. Are you a 420 fan? And they'll be like, dude, fuck yeah, it's my dream to fucking smoke with you, bro. I was like, yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I did bring something extra for just the occasion and stoke them out, give them a little free gift. That's usually what I do with them, but I have thousands of them.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. Well, geez, yeah, you get added bonus when you go meet RVD, everybody. He takes a lot of time with it.
Also, when it comes to CBD, same thing. Same thing. News soon. And I had like the best, in my opinion, and in the opinions of a lot of users, the best pain cream with RVD CBD pain cream. And so if anybody used it and they're listening to this, they will probably be happy to hear that I am planning on bringing that back to you in the very near future.
All right. So some good stuff cooking with Rob. Heck yeah. I like it. Maddie adds another question. Medical is super chemical. I love homegrown. I get longer lasting high from homegrown. Use minimum chemical, hydro, and flush it. Thoughts? I smoke both.
So my thoughts are, what does he mean by medical? It sounds like he's saying, and he's in Australia, so they might do things different. But I think he's saying, when he's saying medical, I think that he's saying dispensary, maybe dispensary bought versus homegrown, and maybe in Australia, since it's medical only, maybe that's all you get. If you go to the stores and buy it, you're getting probably what they consider medical weed, and maybe they consider that made different than what he's making at home. If so, then it's done different here, Maddie. And here, when you own dispensaries, the people you buy the weed from are called vendors, and they're the same people that sold it to you before it was legal on the street, and they still have a lot of clients that they sell it to besides the dispensaries, and basically a lot of that is grown in the same places the same way. Not everywhere, though. Some states, like Florida, in order to sell it at the dispensaries, you have to grow it. You have to see it all the way from seed to sale. So there is no legal vendors that can like drop off 4 pounds of banana kush and make a deal with you and then leave with some cash. So some of the states are different, and I think that he's saying homegrown is better because you got more control over what's in it, which if you grow your own and you know what you're doing, then you got more control. It's a lot of work, especially when it comes to trimming it and I forget what the word is. You hang it up and dry, but when you got to trim something with a No, there goes it's my jet lag again. Damn you. I want to say cultivate, but that's not right. But I think it has a C. Cure. I'm talking about when you cure it. Anyway, a lot of work. But that's awesome if you know what you're doing. I actually had thought about that recently. I wonder if it'd be fun, to grow and smoke my own for a while. And the amount that I smoke, like, could I self-supply, or would that just be, like some of it? And I actually did have those thoughts recently, but my thoughts on that are it's probably different in Australia, especially if you're saying that the weed you get at the dispensaries is somehow like mass produced without love by some huge corporate machine or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Maddie says you were spot on with what you thought he was talking about. And then he says he cures it. That's it. So,
yeah, that's a pain in the ass. So I've cured before, and it's like after a while, like the scissors are so sticky that they hurt your fucking fingers trying to pull them open and close them because they're not working anymore. And then, and then I'm second guessing, like, am I cutting out little leaves or is that actually bud? Like after a while, I'm like, am I wasting all this? Because you got to cut so much out because like all the leaves are like so, you don't want the leaves. You don't want to smoke them. They're soaking up the water or whatever. Just not that you want them wet after that point, but that's what they were there for. Anyway, a lot of work, and that's cool. People that do it, but man, when I go to the grow houses that around here, that or anywhere really that the dispensaries buy from, or that the actual weed companies just themselves, I go to their grow houses, man, they're so big and massive and it's so beautiful. Like the plants are just the most beautiful plants ever. And they smell so good. And it's so cool being under that light and feeling that warmth. And it's a pretty good experience, the seed is resourceful enough to, if you're super old school, you can actually just bury it in the dirt and leave it alone. And depending on where you're at, there's a good chance that you'll be able to produce a tree without, just letting Mother Nature do what it will to it. But that's usually not the way people do it nowadays, and especially not the way the best weed is grown, Because if you control the water and the light and every little thing about it, and people have different special things they like to spray on it that's friendly to to help its nutrients or whatever, and you can give it a lot of love and attention, but yeah, Mother Nature on her own a lot of times will just like sprout even if you don't want it to, like it does grow in nature.
Yeah, man. It's what a fascinating process still nonetheless. And you're right though, like even though I don't smoke a lot at all, but like it's neat to see like it just in its full bloom or how it looks too just out there. And it's just like, wow, that's a beautiful plant.
Sometimes it's like so fucking purple and it looks like somebody sprinkled sugar all over it. And it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty neat stuff. Absolutely. And finally, Bong Water Taffy 420 says, have you tried the strain Grits and Jam? It rocks. Grits and Jam.
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't, but I will keep an eye out for it.
Keep those peepers peeled for it, then, for sure.
A lot of times, like I bought pre-rolls right now. I got what I showed you, New York City Diesel, and I got
Cheesehead.
Cheese, yeah, and head cheese, and also I got Blue Dream. Normally I don't know what I have because normally it's not in packages like that. If I get it like in a bag, plastic bag or something, and get it delivered, a lot of times it doesn't have labels on it. A lot of times, like I don't care about it, that part of it that much. I mean, it's cool for conversation and for like showing you now and whatever, but for the most part, I got a consistent guy that takes care of me, knows, my level of what I'm looking for, and so that's all I care about, is that it does its job.
That's
Usually
it.
I'm not talking to anybody about it. I'm sparking it up on my own. But
That's it, right?
Right now we're all together.
We're getting the details about it all for sure.
Yeah.
And folks, if you want some details too about what Rob's doing WrestleMania weekend, he's got some good stuff cooking. On April 17th, he will be on 1301 South Main Street, high stakes, Las Vegas. He's going to be in action. He's in triple tag action, I believe, going up against the Demand, Ricochet and the Demand. So
big time wrestling, high stakes. No one gets higher than RVD.
RVD. And then, yes, Rob will also be at JCW Stranglemania. That will be taking place at the Horseshoe, part of the WrestleCon Collective, I think it is. And
is that okay? Yeah. Wait, the Collective is
that's GCW, I think. GCW, and then JCW is part of it this year with all that stuff. So you'll be in triple tag action with that one too. That's can't remember. You're tagging with Too Tough Tony and I think somebody else, and then you're going up against the tag team champions there, and then there was somebody else, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So check it out. Should be good stuff. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm pumped for WrestleMania weekend, even though I'm not even doing anything WrestleMania related. Should be still a lot of fun. But Rob will be doing stuff WWE related. He'll be at the WWE World, like he said, on Monday for sure. So you can go meet Rob April 20th at WWE World. That will take place at the Convention Center, Las Vegas Convention Center. And hey, if you're still wanting to party after WrestleMania is over and done with, Rob will be at the Nerd Sunday, April 19th, midnight toast to the Stroke of 420 at the Stroke of 420. So check it out, the Mania after party that'll be taking place at the Nerd. Nerd will be having a lot of stuff going on there. So if you want a good WrestleMania hub, check out the Nerd Bar while you're in Las Vegas. My degenerate brother Marcus will be in action as well, wrestling. So it'll be a lot of fun. So cool stuff, Rob. This has been good. I'm glad we got an episode in before WrestleMania. So.
Did you cut my audio out while you're going through those announcements, motherfucker?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Because I was talking and you couldn't hear me.
You were saying stuff?
Yeah. I thought you had me on mute. Like,
no, I didn't mute you. No. I was like wondering what. It's like, yeah. Oh no, I didn't cut you off.
Okay.
What were you saying?
Shout out to Rib Shot. First, I was joking when you were talking about who I'm tagging with, and I said I think it's Kenta Kobashi, and that got no response, and I don't know what else I said.
Oh, how didn't I hear all that?
I don't know. You're in your own little world.
I'm just told.
No, I don't know. Oh, but yeah, I thought that maybe someone said the Collective has also like Japanese companies and like it's a bunch of companies working together or something or on a show. I don't know if I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's correct though, because like they do the Collective stuff. I think at SummerSlam weekends or WrestleMania weekends. So I think a lot of the bigger indie promotions collaborate together with one another and put something pretty special on a lot of the time. So I am reading the chats right now, by the way. I forget they're here sometimes. El Juggalo said, wait, you reading chats? They don't want to waste the time if I'm not reading it. And or is that you? No, did you read through the chats? I read through the super chats. The chat I'll go back to the chat from time to time just to see if I miss anything. But I try to keep good track. But a lot of people, the great thing about this is a lot of people post. Though. It's like a lot of people are chatting here. So.
Right on. Yeah, I guess I usually scroll through it towards the end and then try to talk when you're trying to say goodbye for the week.
Yeah, right.
You
got some good stuff today for sure.
Cool. Yeah, it's a busy fucking week. Did you talk about the viewing party that I'm doing at the Plaza?
Yes, I did that. Yes. Well, no. I talked about the after party. I didn't talk about the Plaza. You're doing a WrestleMania viewing party though.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to promote it. I owe them a video, which I will do tonight and send. But it is Saturday. And I believe it starts at 1:30 and then goes till, I don't know, 3:30 or 4 or something. It's like a pre pay-per-view party of some sorts. But It is on my appearance page at robvandam.com, but some of the I don't know, some of the details are a little watery, but yeah, no, it's at the Plaza, which is in historical downtown Las Vegas, where Oscar Goodman has his steakhouse. Yeah, and where we've been doing the Cauliflower Alley Club. But I think this year it might be at Horseshoe, but that's not till August, so don't worry about it. Horseshoe used to be Bally's, don't worry about that either. And anyway, yeah, viewing party, dude, Saturday at the Plaza. So, if you want to, fucking make it.
That's it. It's Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Meet WWE Hall of Famer and ECW legend Rob Van Dam. Join Las Vegas for an exclusive fan experience featuring autographed photo ops and a VIP meet and greet with Mr. Monday Night himself. So be sure to check it out. It's going to be cool stuff. Plaza's neat.
WrestleCon Friday through Sunday. Be there. Won't be there Thursday, but I will be doing shit.
Doing shit. You guys should be doing shit too. Whether you're just watching on television or wherever. Hope you have a great WrestleMania weekend. And if you do see Rob or me, be sure to say hi to us.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody. Have a great week, Van Dam fam. You ready to wrap it up like a doobie?
We can wrap it up like a doobie. Let's do it to it. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Yep, here on One of a Kind.
Happy WrestleMania week.
Happy WrestleMania week, everybody. Boom.